If you haven't seen the last episode, go see it now. This is its continuation. Correction from last part! Spawn is not Marvel, but luckily he has crossed over with both Marvel and DC characters, so yeah. This is the Great Crossover Web Part 2.
Gnoggin.
So if you remember last episode, I kept running into the real world, specifically ancient China and Japan, with characters like Nobunaga Oda, who has met other historical people like William Wallace in Age of Empires 2. But really, any game based in non-fiction will link here with these. There are so many World War II movies and games alone that it's hard to count. Hitler may be the most reoccurring real-world character in gaming, aside from John Madden. So unless there is a direct real-world connection, one person to one person, I won't be counting exists in the real world as a connection point. Speaking sports stars, let's get into them. But, as always, start with Mario. There are two sports connections we can make with Mario. The first is that Mario was a referee in Punch-Out on the NES. How many occupations does he have? Little Mac of Punch-Out makes a cameo in Fight Night Round 2. Fighting many other real-world, modern, and classic fighters. In NBA Street v3, Mario and some of his friends play some basketball along with various NBA players and even the Beastie Boys. NBA Jam was a game with real NBA stars as well, and it also featured Bill Clinton and Al Gore. Come to think of it, sports players switch sports all the time, allowing many crossovers in pretty much every professional sport. Much like the original Marvel comics, they would meet other heroes all the time, even if it was just a chat. Pretty much all sports games can be put into one slot on the web. We'll just put EA Sports here. But sports are boring to many people who spend most of their time on video games. Microsoft!
Sport television.
So let's step away from them and get more into real games. First, let's add something I missed last episode. The characters from Soul Calibur have also met Lloyd Irving of the Tales series, and the entire Tales universe is much like the Final Fantasy universe. They cross over and reference each other all the time. Now, in Fortune Street, Mario and the gang meet up with many characters from Dragon Quest.
No! That's the point of the game!
Fine! I'll link them some other way. Well, Mario to Final Fantasy to Dragon Quest. In the first Final Fantasy, you find a grave belonging to Erdrick. In Final Fantasy XII, you fight Gilgamesh, who's holding, among many others, Erdrick's sword. Cid, a reoccurring Final Fantasy character, appears in Dragon Quest Heroes. Cid also appears in Kingdom Hearts, along with many other Final Fantasy characters. And if you know anything about video games or anything about Disney, then you at least know that Kingdom Hearts is a huge crossover of a ton of Disney characters as well as a ton of Final Fantasy characters. This huge crossover isn't so gimmicky in this game, because simply, it works really well. It's not like Smash Bros., where the point is just a bunch of characters from a bunch of games coming together to fight each other. It's a deep and well-worked story. Moogles from Final Fantasy are also in Secret of Mana, and in Final Fantasy XIII too, you can wear Ezio's outfit from Assassin's Creed Revelations. Ezio is an unlockable character in Prince of Persia Forgotten Sands, and there is a two-way trade-off where Altair trades clothes with Raiden from Metal Gear Solid 4. In the cyberpunk cult hit Snatcher, Gillian has a robot, Metal Gear Mach 2, that he says is designed after the great Metal Gear threat back in the late 20th century. In Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, there is a mission where Snake can fight either Rathalos or Tigrex from the Monster Hunter series. Those with the skills of zombie slaying, and who happen to live in Japan, can hunt monsters as a Dead Rising monster hunter. In Dead Rising, you can equip the Buster suit and become the Blue Bomber, Megaman. Then, through a game called Cannon Spike, we bring in Street Fighter, Darkstalkers, and Ghosts and Goblins. Ghouls and Ghosts. Whatever you want to call it. Mega Man also brings in another samurai game series, Onimusha, as Megaman.exe and Zero are hidden characters in the game. One more jump with Mega Man. His face appears on a billboard in Mighty Final Fight. Final Fight puts us into Street Fighter again with some Final Fight characters in Street Fighter Alpha, among a few other Street Fighter games. Street Fighter and Darkstalkers often had character trades with each other. Morrigan of Darkstalkers crosses with Disgaea through Cross Edge, and Castlevania's Alucard in Gunbird 2. And right back to Snatcher. In a bar we see Castlevania's Dracula and Simon Belmont, Lance and Bill from Contra, and Sparks to the Rocket Knight. In Van Helsing for PS2, you stumble across a book about the history of the Belmont family from Castlevania. Sega characters, like Nintendo characters, cross over a lot. Billy Hatcher makes a cameo in Sonic Riders, and they share a few enemies. Sonic and/or Tails makes an appearance in Samba de Amigo, Phantasy Star, Jet Set Radio, Monkey Ball, and Knights. Sonic is pretty popular. Even the Max and Archie have met him. Yes, Archie. I went there! Sue me! He's also met the Punisher from Marvel, you know. Samba meets Billy Hatcher on a separate occasion, as well as Rhythm Thief. Goji Rakaku from Jet Set Radio makes a cameo in Yakuza on the PS2. In the Ty the Tasmanian Tiger promo, we see Spyro, Crash, and Sonic bedridden in a hospital, which fills that last opening I had on Sonic. Look at Doom Guy. Now look at Wolfenstein Guy. Doom Guy is the descendant of Wolfenstein Guy, and so is Commander Keen. Believe it or not. Well, while we're on this side of the web, in Forza Motorsport 4, you can look, but you can't touch the Warthog from Halo. In Serious Sam 2,
Secret Duke skeleton has been found.
Dude, you've been hanging here like forever.
and in Doom 2, there was also a reference to Serious Sam.
Yourself.
To conclude this episode, let's add some links to the web here and there, all over. In Final Fantasy XIII, you find N7 armor from Mass Effect. In the DC fighting game Injustice, Scorpion joins the party. In the Batman vs. Predator and Superman vs. Aliens comics, we bring in the whole AVP universe into this web. Batman meets Judge Dredd at one point. And Archie also meets the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, who have fought some rabbits from Rayman as well. Now are you ready for a ton of Mario?
Aye, aye, Captain!
Well, you're gonna get it anyway. Mario appears in many Japanese Excitebike games. Did you know they're still making those? A lot of those? In Super Mario RPG, on a shelf you find figurines of Star Fox and F-Zero ships. In Mario Golf, you can see Pikmin on the ground, and in Pikmin 2 there are many Mario-related items, such as Peach's crown and a tube of Mario paint. In Phantasy Star and the DS, there is a Warp Pipe Bazooka. Mario Kart GP Arcade has Pac-Man, as well as things from Dig Dug and Galaxian. Inspector Gadget appears on a live-action segment of the Super Mario Bros. Super Show.
Do the Mario! Swing your arms from side to side. Come on, it's time to go. Do the Mario. Take one step, and then again. Let's do the Mario all together now.
In Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes, you can find Mario and Yoshi figurines. And also in Metal Gear are the Ape Escape monkeys. Bowser will occasionally destroy your city in Sim City on the SNES. And Mario, Bowser, Luigi, the Princess, Samus, Donkey Kong, and Pit all appear together in Tetris. And this web is getting very packed and complicated, so expect it to be reorganized by next episode. I'll leave you with one more. Marvel and DC connect all the time through many intercompany comic books, but they share another link through another franchise. Star Trek, which has also crossed with Doctor Who. We'll continue more on that chain later. Till then, make sure you use your noggin. It's really good for your well-being.